Hello students, welcome to the course Electrical Circuit and Networks. Myself Milan Sasmal, Faculty of Electrical Engineering Department from JIS College of Engineering. Today we will discuss the Laplace transformation for electrical circuit. It means already we have seen the Laplace transformation in our mathematical course, and we have seen what are the different function and what are the different Laplace transformation like sin 80, cos 80, e to the power 80, e to the power minus 80, and whatever the Laplace transformation for that. And we have solved the several differential equation by using the concept of Laplace transformation, and now we will apply the knowledge of that mathematics in the electrical circuit. Okay. Okay, so the objective of this Laplace transformation for electrical circuit is the find out the Laplace transformation of some common function, or the Laplace transformation of a circuits including some components with non-zero initial conditions. Suppose for a normal circuit is given to us and no more normal initial condition is given, or it means suppose inductor and capacitors are there and they are not previously charged, then no problem at all, we can easily solve the circuit. But if the inductor and capacitor they are previously charged, then there is some problem. If we want to solve it directly, normally in time domain analysis, then it's very difficult or it will be very lengthy to calculate this one. That's why we need to S domain analysis. It means simply we are transferring the circuit into the Laplace domain, and then for the Laplace domain we are trying to solve it, and after that whatever the ultimate Laplace function we are getting, then we are taking it as a inverse Laplace function, and so that we are getting the actual the equation for the time domain. So it means, so this Laplace transformation is nothing but a just a conversion from time domain to S domain, and again S domain to time domain conversion. So this S domain, that is very essential to solve the circuit easily, whether there are any differential equation that is first order or second order differential equation. And in this chapter, obviously we will find out the Laplace transformation, or we will try to solve any problem by using this Laplace transformation, and also we will check the answer whether it's right or wrong. That will check by initial value theorem and similarly the final value theorem, and whether it's right or wrong. Okay. Now what types of circuit we can analyze? Now we can analyze the circuit with any number and types of DC source and any numbers of resistors, or similarly any numbers of inductors, capacitors. So similarly the first order circuit consisting with resistance and inductance, and similarly consisting with resistors or capacitors, and with there may be any source or there may not be source, or there may be a DC source or there may be some AC source also, that we can calculate by using this Laplace transformation. But the important thing is that the circuit with sinusoidal source or any number of resistors, capacitors or inductors that we can solve over here, and a transformer or operational amplifier also, but can generate only the steady state response. So this is the very vital thing, which by which we can explain, or we can solve the normal RL circuit, normal RC circuit, normal RLC circuit. We'll check it for DC or AC, or whatever the sources are there, we'll try for the both. So now what are the common definition of the Laplace transformation? If we consider the mathematics, in mathematics 2 already we have seen in our last semester that the Laplace transformation of any time domain function, that is written as a f of t, that is a time domain function, and L, this L is it shows that the Laplace transformation, and that we can write as a f of s. S means this is the Laplace domain or the S domain function. The same function is written in the S domain. This is the time domain function, the same function that is written as a time domain, and this is the this is our time domain function. We can write time domain function, and the same was that is written as a Laplace domain, Laplace in Laplace or in S domain. Time domain, where we can represent it by t, small t, and for time or Laplace domain we represent it as a S domain. And if we go for the solution or the explanation for this f of s, then we can write f of s, the Laplace transformation of this f of t function. This is nothing but a integration of 0 to infinite f of t e to the power minus st and dt. This is the general the structure of the Laplace transformation of any time domain function. Note that there are limitation on types of function for which a Laplace transform exists, but these functions are pathological, that in mathematics that we have seen, and generally as an electrical engineer we are not interested for these types of mathematical equation or these types of things. We are really interested on whatever the real components we have, whatever the in through which whatever the current or whatever the voltage. But in other way, if we see that suppose a circuit contains a resistor and an inductor, so for a simple RL circuit, then if we want to solve the circuit, the voltage across that inductor, if we consider, that will be V is equals to L into di dt, that we know. Suppose for a RL circuit, normal RL circuit, if we consider, and if, for any voltage if we want to consider, that will be obviously can be calculated VL. There is one term that we can calculate it, that is voltage, induced voltage within that inductor, that you know L di dt. So the equation contains some first order derivative terms. Maybe the equation sometimes contains the second order terms also. Then it will be very difficult. To solve these problems, we need to take the help of these mathematical pathological terms or pathological equations. That's why this Laplace transformation is very essential for us. So now, before going to the Laplace transformation for electrical circuit, just we need to know some basics of different types of signals, right? Step signal, ramp signal, or impulse types of signal, or these types of function we have to know, because it's very essential. Suppose we have written over here a step function as a u of t is written. Now this step function, this is step function means we know the step function, it starts from any, and it's a just like a step. Here the step value is k, it means within k value the signal continues after 0 time. So it means we can say, if we write this function as a function of time, it means f of t, we can say this function value is 0 if t is less than 0. So we know as a time, here the time is 0, and before this 0 time the values of this signal is 0, no more values, and after 0 the signal having the values of k. So we can write f of t that is equals to 0 when t less than 0, and when t greater than 0. T greater than 0 means when t is equals to 0, or t is equals to 1 2 3 4 5 6 up to n, whatever the values of t. For all values of t we are getting the function value as a k. So immediately, if the values 1 2 3 dot 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 up to n, whatever the values are up to t, the function gives us the values of k. So for and this function provides the value always k. So we can write this function as a f of t is equals to u of t. U of t, that is the step function, and the step function having a values of k, that's why it's written as a k. So now if we consider the unit step function, obviously, then what will the value? Unit step function means this value will be 1. If instead of k the value is 1, then obviously we can write 1 instead of k, 1 into u of t. So for the unit step function we can write f of t is equals to u of t, right? Okay. Similarly, we have designed over here two different functions. So is it possible for you to find out the function value? Is it possible? The first one, or the first graph, it's the first signal, it shows that at t is equals to 0 the value of the function is 0, and when the t is equals to a, then also the value is 0, less than a, then also 0, and when t is equals to a, then only the value shifted to k, and then it goes on, it continues for the first case. So how you can write this equation? Obviously, whatever we have written for the first case, we have written that if signal is like this, and if here is t and in this side suppose a signal is trying to start over here, and this is t and this value is k obviously. So what we have written, we have written f of t, we have written that f of t is equals to k, that is the k is the value k, and u of t, u of t means u of t that we have written actually. So it means the function value has been started from 0. So as for this particular signal we can see the function having the values of 0 and it continues up to the value less than a, up to the value less than a. So we can write that the same function, the same f of t function, the same f of t function having the values of 0 how much time, when the t less than a, t less than a. It means at t is equals to 0 the function value is also 0, t is equals to t1, maybe t1 less than t, suppose here the value is t1, so here the value is t1, then also the function value is 0. So generally can we write for the previous case that f of t is equals to k u of t, u of t means after 0 thus this value starts to k, right, for this previous case condition. Now here we can say this value is changes to k when, now when t greater than or equals to a, t greater than or equals to a, then it shifted. So in previous case, just try to imagine this thing. In previous case we have written that f of t, that f of t that is equals to 0 when, that is equals to 0 when, now when our t less than 0, when t less than 0, and is equals to k was k when, now when t greater than or equals to 0, it means t 0 then that was k, that's why we have written. Similarly can we say here as the signal gets its value t is equals to k where at t is equals to 0, so can we write that t is equals to minus of 0, that we can write obviously, no more problem at all. Similarly for this case can we write the function that f of t is equals to 0 and f of t is equals to k at k, so we can write f of t is equals to k into u of t minus a, t minus a, so at a this function is over here, right? So I think it's clear. Now as it's clear, now tell me what will you write for these types of signal. Okay, so try to solve it. What will be the value for these types of signal? Okay, some of you have already got answer that yes, whatever written over here this is right, and some of you have some confusion that that why we can written this one, why we have written a2, why it's a1, and why we have given this minus signs actually. So don't worry, it's a very simple thing. Suppose just try to imagine this one. Okay, so for just try to imagine the signal has been started at a1 point and it's continuous, it's continuous. So if we write the same thing, this one I'm doing this over here. Okay, so if the signal is going over here, suppose it started at a1 point, so obviously we can modify this signal as a f of t is equals to k of u into t a minus t minus a1, no problem at all, t minus a1, that we have write. Okay, sorry, if we write it in better way, so it will be t minus of a1, that is over here, and within the bracket t minus a1. So this part is right, no more problem at all. Now this function, what will be this function? This one is continuous, continues throughout the time, whatever the value, the t is equals to whatever the values of time which is less than a or which is greater than a1, always the function provides the values k. But we need the function which having the value, the function value is 0 after a2 time, after a2 time. So what will be the function of after a2 time? So if we consider one another function, if we consider one another signal, it means I am designing it over here one another signal. So suppose this is my time axis, so this is my time axis and this one my time axis. So for this time axis, if we consider one another signal, here is 0, here is also 0, and if we consider one signal which starts at A2 and up A2 having the values of k, A2 amplitude of k. So what will be this function? Obviously we will write this function as a f of t, as a, so if we write this function as a f1 of t, so obviously we have to write this function as a f2 of t. So can we write this function is equals to k into u of t minus of A2? Possible, no more problem. Now this function also continues whatever the time value after t greater than A2, and this function is also continues t greater than A2. Okay, obviously time t2 at time A2 which is greater than A1, obviously. Now if we subtract this function at A2 time, this function continues, this function is also continues. Okay, no problem at all, this function is continuous. So at A2 time, the previous function f1, that is continuous, So if we subtract this f1 function and f2 function, if we subtract this one, subtract means suppose if we take the resultant of this function and as a subtracted way, so then what we can write? So at this position, this is here the value is k, here the value is 0, so k minus 0 means k, k minus 0 means k. So what will be the resultant? So the resultant function isn't be like this. So if this is 0, so at this point this is 0 minus 0, 0, 0 minus 0. Here at this point A1, at this time A1, can we write that 1? After that the value is 1 and their value is 0. So 1 minus 0, if we subtracting the function f1 minus f2, we are doing the equation mathematically solving this f1 minus f2. Okay, so what will be this? So here only we are getting this value, which value? The k value. This is k continues at this time. There is also values is k, here is 0, there is continuous, so k minus 0 means k, k minus 0 means k. Now at this A2 time, what happened? Here the value is k, and at this A2 time there is value also k. So if we subtract k minus k, then it will be 0. So at A2 time the function value goes to 0. And after this A2 value, what happened? This first function having the values k and second function having also the values of k, and continues throughout the time. So the rest of the time it always provides 0, right? So now look the carefully, whatever the resultant function we are getting, is the resultant function same with this one? Yes. Now look the function f of t. It's written k u of t minus a1, k u of t minus a1, this is the first function, minus k u of t minus a2, this is the second function, and we have done the subtractive operation and we are getting this function. Okay, so till now we can design any types of function, whatever the function we have, we can design it as per our choice, as per our requirement. Just logic is this. Okay. Now I have a simple question. What will be the answer for this one? Which expression describe the function? As you can see the answer, but still I am asking you to check the answer. What will be this? So the value is 5. So u of t, k into u of t minus a1, just like the previous one if we write. So here k value is 5 and u of t minus, the signal has been started at the time of 15, so t minus 15. Okay. So now for this case, what will be the equation or what will be the function value? Here the signal has been started at t is equals to minus 4. If t is equals to minus 4. So what we can write at t is equals to minus 4? We know that is the k value means k value is 8 here. So 8, k value is 8. So f of t, that is k value is 8, k into u of t minus the time from where the signal had changed its value. From where it changed its value? The minus 4. So t minus of minus 4. So what will be the answer? T u 8 u of t minus and minus plus, so t plus 4. So this will be your answer, right? So in your exam they can ask you any question, any types of question, and you have to answer this. Okay, so just answer me, what will be the answer for this one? Yes, right. The signal has started at minus 5, so obviously simply we can write it as a the signal having the amplitude 2, so simply we can write 2 u of, it has been started as a minus 5, so we can write t plus 5. So this signal is continuous, t plus 5, this signal is continuous. It means whenever writing this one, this signal is continuous throughout the time. It has started from over here and goes to 2 and it continues. But our aim is there will be 0 at 10, so we have to subtract. So we have to subtract one another step which will be starts at t is equals to 0. So for which the amplitude will be 2 and u of t, the starting time will be 10. So that will be over here. So the ultimate function value will be 2 u t plus 5 minus twice u t minus 10. So that will be your answer. Okay, so this is about the step function. Now if we consider the ramp function, then what happened? For the ramp function, generally we design the signal or we write the signal like that, suppose like this. Okay, so suppose this is your t at time t and this value is your a, this value is a. So what will be the signal? So generally for this types of signal is called the ramp signal. It means at throughout the time the signal amplitude is goes on. Previously for step signal we have seen that our due to that particular time or whatever the time we have defined, throughout the time the step value is fixed, or if the step value is changes for a certain time, then again it will be fixed or constant. Okay, now for the ramp function it will be gradually increasing, its amplitude is gradually increasing. So what will be the mathematical equation for this ramp function? Obviously we can write the mathematical function as a obviously this straight line or these types of increasing function we can write that is as a at, a into t, and the ramp function, this is denoted as a r of t, r for ramp, as u of t, u means as u for step, u of t, that we have written that u of t, that is the step function. We have written the step function as u of t. Similarly if we write r of t means obviously our ramp function, or ramp function. So for this ramp function we can write a, obviously multiplied a into t. So suppose your time is over here 2, so time is over here 2 and here it's 1 2 3 4 5 6, like that it's increasing 1 2 3 4 5 and it's increasing. Suppose it's, if it's unit ramp, if we consider unit ramp means, so at time is equals to 1, unit is 1. Suppose this thing is given in such a way, one signal time t, and at suppose t1, at 2, at 3, at 4, at 5, and similarly the values also increasing. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. Suppose we are getting at t is equals to 1 the signal having the values of 1, at t is equals to 2 signal having the amplitude of 2, at t is equals to 3 signal having the amplitude of 3, at t is equals to 4 signal having the amplitude of 4, like that, at t is equals to 5 signal having the amplitude of 5, right. Similarly, so if we connect all these points, so obviously we will get this step, we will get this types of signal that is called as a ramp signal, and that is denoted as a r of t. And here r of t, here this value r of t, that is if we consider what is this value, that is 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3 for 3, 4 for 4, like that. Okay, so time is multiplied with the a, so whatever the value, this value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. Now if we consider the impulse function, this is step, ramp, and this is impulse. If we consider impulse function, that is written denoted as a delta. Impulse function, what is impulse function? Impulse function means for any time, suppose if we consider like that, for a time, suppose t is equals to 0, just only this times instant we have a value, we have a values of a, only these times t is equals to 0. It means if we consider the step signal with having very lower this time limit, it means suppose this step signal which this value has started, suppose one step signal has been started at minus a, and the value or the amplitude going to suppose a particular value, and it's ended to plus a, and if minus a or plus a, if this a is very near to 0, very closest to 0, then can we say that at time instant when t is equals to 0, then actually we are getting a certain rise of the amplitude, certain rise of the signal. At t is equals to 0, we are getting a certain signal at t is equals to 0, and up before the t is equals to 0 again the value is 0, and after t is equals to 0 again the value is 0. So that types of signal that we can consider as a impulse. So this is the step signal, ramp signal, and impulse signals. Now we'll try to solve one problem, that is suppose a thing is given, that is one equation or one signal is these types. Step signal, that is t is equals to 0, here the value is let's say this is 5, and value is 0, starts over here, it goes to 0, then again over here, again this, and again all. So the problem is designed as a, it goes to high, and again it comes over here, then it's like this. Okay, so this is our time axis, this is time axis. At time t is equals to 0, this is our t1, this is our t2, this is our t3. So what is the equation for this function? Here it's 5, and here it's 10, amplitude 10 unit is given. So for the first part, we can write what we can write, that is 5 u of t, 5 u of t for the first signal. Then you have to subtract minus of 5 u of t minus t1. So for this part only. Okay, again the another function has been started at t is equals to t0 time, so this function we have to add it. So plus we have to write the amplitude is 10 u of t minus t2, and obviously this signal is continuous from T2 to continuous. So again we have to subtract one signal which has been started at T3. So we have to write minus 10 u of T minus T3. So by these types we can write the mathematical equation for any types of signal. Okay. So that's all for the day, and for the next day we will see how we can write for the different function, function as per our requirement. We can generate any types of function and we can write the mathematical equation for that function also. Okay, so that's all.